morning Pekanbaru. It's 7:30 a.m. 27 August. I'm Muhammad Zaki Kalista Pasla. Thank you so much for joining us on the news this morning. At 10, the worst single mass killing of Palestinians in Gaza war so far. Hundreds are dead after a blast at a hospital. Chaos and horror at the scene. Much of the building has been destroyed. A panic to treat the injured. Thousands of people were sheltering at the hospital, having fled. Israel's bombing campaign targeting Hamas. They thought they were safe. Now Gaza once again count the cost of this war. Israel denies it was responsible, blaming Palestinians. Islamic Jihad, Jordan, Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia condemned what they say was an Israeli attack. The missile hit the hospital not long after the night. You can hear the impact. The explosion destroyed Al-Aqli Hospital. It was already damaged from a smaller attack at the weekend. The building was flattened. Very soon, video who posted from Gaza of bodies laid out near the ruins of the hospital. So many dead at the size of the explosion together look to be having a profound impact on what was already the most dangerous crisis in the Middle East. The wounded were taken across Gaza to Shifa. The Israeli army's first response said hospitals were highly sensitive and not targets of its military and urgent criticism about what it's called the United Nations verified crimes of a terrorist organization. That statement will not be believed by Palestinians and by millions of others in the Middle East who see this image and also around the world. The wounded and the dying pouring into Shifa from Al-Aqli arrived at the hospital already overwhelmed by thousands of casualties from Israel airstrikes. It was already struggling to treat patients after Israel cut off fuel, water, food, and deliveries of medical supply. Jordan and Egypt condemned Israel for a dangerous escalation. Jordan said the international community should pressure Israel to stop its attack to prevent what it's called wild cycles of violence. As fury and fear gripped Palestinians, Israel denied that it was responsible. Mark Rizef, as an Israeli government advisor on the purse, said, "We will not deliberately target a hospital. Now, my information that I have just received from the highest authority, because I asked about this, I know you will ask me about this, is that indications are that this was not Israeli ordinance, but this was rather a Hamas rocket that fell short. Now I want to explain this from past conflicts with the terrorists in Gaza. We know that on average about 33% of the rockets that they shoot at us fall short and land in Gaza." Picture posts on social media show many children among the casualties in Gaza. So many people needed treatment that the corridors of the Shifa hospital were packed. The destruction of Al-Aqli Hospital is also spreading fear among the hundreds of thousands of Palestinians who fled to Gaza's southern border with Egypt after Israel told them to leave their homes. Deputy Director of the United Nations Gaza Field Office, Jennifer, Jennifer Austin said, "There's 8,000 people here at night. It's usually raucous. It's loud people. Kids are running around tonight. There is silence, absolute silence. You can hear a thing that people are just there, absolute shock about what's happened. It's really, really shocking, and I just don't know what to say. I have no words." Anger spilled into the streets in the occupied West Bank, the other part of the Palestinians' territories that separate from Gaza by Israel. Since Hamas attack out of Gaza on the 7th October, there have been fears that mass casualties caused by Israel's response could ignite West Bank towns that have been the center of the UFS for once a year. The young men, on the streets and Palestinian armed groups in the West Bank will not believe Israel denials. The latest from Israel's Prime Minister, blaming what he called barbaric terrorists for the attack. The attack is a seismic event in a war that might spread elsewhere in the Middle East. There are reports that the Palestinian president has canceled a meeting with the US president who's due in Israel tomorrow morning on a mission that was armed at easing the plight of Palestinian civilians and who will now walk into an even deeper crisis. Let's just pick up with Jeremy Bone, our international editor If we run, and I just want to make the point, Jeremy, that obviously this is a shocking event tonight that we've all seen. Both sides are putting forward competing claims about who is responsible, trying to get at the truth of this. This is going to be very difficult indeed. Yeah, it will be live, and of course, more than anything, it's an appalling tragedy for the hundreds of people who were killed, the thousands who were injured, their families, the hundreds of people who were killed, the thousands who were injured, their families in a place where civilians are already going through a terrible ordeal. Now, in terms of the different assertions that are being made, Israel very quickly denied it had anything to do with it. Even more quickly, Arab countries blame Israel. It wasn't just Hamas blaming Israel, it was Egypt, Jordan who have peace with Israel. It was the United Arab Emirates which normalized relations with Israel under the Abraham Accords. It was Saudi Arabia who, until all this start, was talking to the Americans about normalizing relations with Israel, so that already it a sea change the complications of politics in the Middle East. And I think that the way that this is going, already the sheer volume of casualties on top of all the other people the other civilians in Gaza who've been killed. I think that is enormously dangerous and inflammatory, and I think as well that the consequence of this could be very serious. Thank you for watching our news, and I hope you enjoy it.